It is good morning from Ellendale. Mandy, Rainbow Valley Retreat, back of Mount Field, National Park, Tasmania. I bring you another short edition of stories that I wish to tell. Stories that may land quietly in your psyche. It is then up to the power of your imagination as to how you might feel to weave an aspect of my story into your story. That is the power of connection. Many years ago, I was given a book. It's an international seller called The Artist Way. Most people will know it, by Julia Cameron. When I was given this book, it felt like I had been given a wonderful gift, like a nugget of gold put into my hands. And I realized at the end of completing this book that I wanted to teach creativity, but I felt that I didn't have enough stories. So how do you go about creating stories, which I obviously have? Stories are a little bit like a song or a piece of art. They seem to just work their way through you. You can't really go out and consciously create a story. You have to, it's a little bit like a conversation with the universe, and you have to meet with something and then let it work through you. You can be dancing to band music, then all of a sudden the violinist takes up her own solo, and there is something about those few minutes of that solo where that music just works within you in a way that you don't even understand. It enters you. The ongoing steps in this creative journey is, first of all, you have to take on a different hearing. You have to be able to hear. It's about being able to see differently. I look at the back of Mount Field many times during my week, but if you're in the creative process and don't know what you need to put in next, it's almost like a spiritual veil being lifted from our senses, and we see differently. I was dancing tango one night with a gentleman who really knew how to just let the tango be danced through you. And so when we would take to the floor, it was this beautiful, liberating movement of dance and music. As I was dancing this night, I had this experience of where the music that came from the violinist, again, the music seemed to transform itself into a sense of taste. And it was like the sweetest wine I had ever tasted. Obviously a transformative moment for me. A number of creative elements came together in that moment, inclusive of the tango music, which is very deep and emotional, also sung with amazing voices, but the story of love and loss, pain, all of those deep emotions that we all carry within us. My dance partner felt the shift in me, and I told the story to another tango dancer the next day, and he experienced a shift of energy going up his spine. So that amazing moment of energy transforming, transmuting, connecting was still moving. Nearly 24 hours later, that energy came to a stop. It had been received, a little bit like a radio station, receiving the energy. The channel was open, and I think that energy by then had finished. Psychologists have a term for these kind of experiences. I don't give much power to that. I suggest that maybe they take up tango, or at least some form of creativity that opens the neural pathways. When we have these amazing experiences, and they are open to everyone in whatever form they need to receive them. Many people have these experiences. They are profound, they are powerful, they are so connected, but often they don't know what to do with these experiences. You will hear, as I tell these stories, an aspect of religion in me, and I actually try to tell people that I'm not religious, but the fact is, it's a little bit like the music that flows through me. There is something of a higher nature that flows through me, and I like to call it grace. When I use that word, it automatically takes me into the model of religion. That is to some people's understanding. Jesus told stories when he taught, and people gathered around and listened to him. They were called parables in the olden days. There must have been something quite magnetic in these stories that he told for people to gather around him like they did. In my younger days of sitting in a church, I would hear these parables taught over and over again. They were taught from a cognitive aspect, trying to give us meaning into what Jesus was really saying. But they sort of came with an energy of like, okay, I have to listen to another parable and I have to find some kind of understanding. What comes to my mind as I talk about this is a concert that I attended quite a few years ago before my artist evolved. It was the prelude to allowing that artist to come out. In that prelude, what excited me was the concert. It contained harpist, it contained songwriters, it contained colour. It was all of these things that made me feel free and alive. There was a beautiful spiritual energy that seemed to flow through everything that was there, except for one songwriter, and she told or sang us a song that was a little bit like the parables. She was a learner, and with that came a dissonant note. She was in the process of needing to put spiritual structure into her life, a few rules and a few ways of being that fitted in with the spiritual modality. I heard it, but I also heard amazing creativity, music just flowing in the moment. Just such a powerful experience. The next day I came home and I just felt pushed to pull out a canvas and some paints. I really didn't know how to use them. I'd known for 2 years there was an artist waiting to break through and find expression on the canvas, but I did not know how to do it. A painting emerged in the time of 15 minutes. It was an incredibly profound experience because I simply seemed to know what to do. It simply flowed through me, and it felt like I had just been through an amazing meditation. I can't meditate, but I just again had this incredible feeling of connection and knowingness and lightness and just joy. It was everything. It was just amazing. I've taken you around a few little ways today. It is a little bit like an abstract. I've just talked as it comes, and I could conclude and give you my interpretation of what I want to teach, I suppose, but I need to pull myself back and say, well, no, I'm simply telling some stories, and maybe it's up to you what you get out of the story. I don't want it to be like the dry old parables where you just keep having it hashed over and over. Something needs to open up within you as I tell a story. So I hope that you've enjoyed today's video, and just remember the power of stories is that they may not open up today, but as I've had the experience of parables is that you know these stories, you know them over and over again, but then when life has you up against the wall and you're really not seeing straight, that parable, that story will just open up and take you into a much deeper space within you, a little bit like me talking about the abstract painting. It took me 2 years before I could allow that door of creativity to come through for me. So I say thank you, and I look forward to telling the next few stories. Thank you.